Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 3 in the book of First John. Now, I'm going to title today, I don't know, I'm a sinner and I'm not a sinner. That's where I want to go with this. First John is about reality. First John is about the reality of words that describe our condition, the reality of saying the truth about our condition. I was thinking about AA this morning. When you go to an AA meeting, I'm told, the first thing you say is, "Hi, I'm Mike and I'm an alcoholic." Similarly, I'm going to use the wisdom of our brothers and sisters from AA. So why does a person go to an AA meeting and say that? Well, because it's the first step. It unleashes the power of not being a liar, and then it allows the second step. So similarly, we should be walking into the Lord and walking into the church, so to speak, and saying, similarly, I am a sinner. Now, why would I say that? Why would I admit that? That's all about 1 John chapter 1. Is, quit calling yourself a liar, quit lying and quit calling God a liar, and admit, step 1, I'm a sinner. Why is that? Well, not that you stay there forever. It's that you address the problem and you fix that problem. So when a person comes to God, we admit that we are sinners because it's true. The second thing is that I need help because it's true. And kind of the third thing is we admit to sin because there is help available to stop sinning. So yesterday was all chapter 1 is quit protesting you're innocent and agree and confess our sins. Say it out loud. Why? Verse 9, 1:9, he's faithful and he's just to forgive us our sins. And then the second thing we'll talk about today, which is to cleanse us from all unrighteousness and demonstrate that it has changed. So here's the verse for today. This is 1 John chapter 2. My little children, I'm writing these things to you so that you may not sin. But if anyone does sin, we have an advocate with the Father, Jesus Christ, the righteous. He is the propitiation for our sins. That's the permanent atonement and satisfaction. He's the propitiation for our sins, not for ours only, but also for the sins of the world. And by this we know that we have come to know him, if we keep his commandments. Whoever says, I know him, but does not keep his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in him. Verse 5. But whoever keeps his word, in him truly the love of God is perfected. By this we may know that we are in him. Whoever says he abides in him ought to walk in the same way in which he walked. All right, so we are heading towards this sinless state. I know that's never going to happen on this planet, but we're moving towards it. Imagine if you came to the Lord and you say, I'm a sinner. New believer walks in the door, says, I'm a sinner. Is there any help here for me? Any hope that I'm going to change? And if the answer is no, that would equal despair and discouragement. Hey, no help is available here. You're on your own. Good luck with that. You're alone in your sin. No. Back to John chapter 1. The reason you admit this and confess and agree with God is stop being a liar and to access help. So the reason an alcoholic goes to an AA meeting and says, I'm an alcoholic, the point is to stop drinking, stop being controlled by it, and access the help of the community of AA. Similarly, with us, we say, I'm a sinner. Why? 2:1, my little children, I'm writing these things to you so that you may not sin. The goal here is to stop sinning, that you may not sin. So the goal is to walk on this planet of sinlessness and move towards holiness. And where am I going to find an actual person like that who's moving towards sinlessness? Generally, it's people that are willing to say, I'm a sinner. So in a sense, the people that are moving towards sinlessness are the people that most easily admit that I'm a sinner. In my experience, that's in the fellowship, that's in the church. And it's only people that say, I'm a sinner, who have access to the help available to move towards, I'm not a sinner. So the goal is that I'm not a sinner. So stop protesting your innocence and deceiving yourself and calling God a liar, saying you don't have sin. All right, he is faithful and just and will forgive us our sins and he is faithful and just, and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. So if I am ready for that righteousness, he helps me now. And the access point is our admission, saying I'm a sinner and I don't want to sin, and help me to not sin. So the reality, 1 John is so real. It's to help me right now in real time, in real sin, with a real advocate. How do I get this help? Well, we come to the end of ourselves generally. It's like taking this hard, test in calculus or something like that. You're stuck and you're at your absolute limit. And then Jesus leans over and says, I can help you with that. Let me help you think through this. So we have the Spirit of Jesus who helps us call to mind stuff, intercede, advocate for us, intercess. I'll indwell you. I'll convict you. I'll help you with this. We have the reality of the Lord helping with us. So verse 3, his presence is going to be manifest then by the change. And by this we know that we have come to know him if we keep his commandments, if we change, if we move towards sinlessness. This is going to be a marker that he is in us. So if someone from the outside says, hey, you've changed, you're different, you're keeping his commands, you're obeying, you're walking, you're trying to obey him, well, that is evidence then that the Lord is real and the Lord is real inside you. The love of God is being perfected in a real way, in a real person, in a real situation. This is how we know that we are in him, that we're being helped. He helps, he advocates his change. So he is the way that we go from I am a sinner, quote unquote, becomes now I am not sinning as much. This is where the rubber meets the road in dealing with real sin. So let's do what we learned yesterday, which is let's admit to our sin. And then secondly is let's get help with our sin. We actually have an advocate to help us say, I'm not at least as much of a sinner. Thanks for listening.